Good Lord. Another banger of a day, slowly drawing to a close. Welcome back to Daily Hawk. I'm Hawk. I'm your host. It is Wednesday, January 29th, 2025, about 2:35 p.m. West Coast time. Let's dive into a news recap. Meta is going to pay Donald Trump $25 million to settle a lawsuit. So this is reminiscent of the massive $16 million bribe that ABC News paid to Donald Trump when he sued them and George Stephanopoulos for defamation in a case that, as a matter of law, Donald Trump could not have won. ABC paid him $16 million. So Donald Trump sued Meta when they deplatformed him for about a year following the attacks on the U.S. Capitol in 2021. He sued Meta and Facebook, and now they're going to settle with him for $25 million. $22 million will go towards Trump's presidential library. Can you even imagine a Donald Trump presidential library? It's a bribe. It's a $25 million bribe, just like the one ABC News paid him. So fuck Meta and fuck Mark Zuckerberg. The Justice Department. Let's talk about the Justice Department. They've been doing some very interesting things over the last couple of days. They may drop their case against New York City Mayor Eric Adams, who went pretty much full MAGA during the campaign and is now considered a Trump ally. The DOJ is dismissing its charges against former Republican House member Jeff Fortenberry. He went on trial for significant campaign finance violations. He was convicted. That was thrown out by a federal appeals court. Now the DOJ is going to drop that. Today, the DOJ dismissed its appeal of Judge Aileen Cannon's order dismissing the Mar-a-Lago classified documents case against Donald Trump, and the DOJ also dismissed the remainder of that case against Trump's two co-defendants. Meanwhile, Democratic Senator Bob Menendez was sentenced to 11 years in prison for operating what prosecutors called one of the most brazen corruption schemes in the country's history. Bribes totaling nearly $1 million in cash, checks, gold bars, and a Mercedes-Benz. The judge, Sidney Stein, said during sentencing, "You were successful, powerful. You stood at the apex of our political system. Somewhere along the way, I don't know where it was, you lost your way. Working for the public good became working for your good." Also, unacceptable. Top Trump prosecutor rages at coworkers after emails are immediately leaked to the press. So Trump's bringing in this prosecutor named Ed Martin to re-examine all of the January 6th cases from Donald Trump's perspective. On Tuesday, he sent an email to DOJ personnel complaining that a Monday email he sent ordering an internal review of how prosecutors handled January 6 defendants' cases was immediately leaked to the media. He wrote, "Wow, what a disappointment to have my email yesterday to you all was leaked almost immediately. Again, personally insulting and professionally unacceptable. I guess I have learned my lesson. Fool me once." Martin was particularly upset. He was particularly upset by former DOJ Ashley Akers, who prosecuted a lot of those January 6 cases. She's been on CNN a couple times. Martin blasted Akers for going on television and bad-mouthing our work and me, and told the DOJ and the agency that they needed to make sure that they have all of her records and emails. So basically threatening her with prosecution. Before joining Trump's DOJ, Martin was a longtime anti-abortion activist who eventually became chairman of the Missouri Republican Party. In 2020, NBC News reported that he was a prominent Stop the Steal activist who cheered on Trump's attempt to overturn the 2020 election. He wrote at the time, "No matter what happens tomorrow," he wrote this on January 5th, "or the next day or the day after, we still need to be in the fight. There's no summer soldiers or springtime patriots here. There's the diehard true Americans. We need to start today, go through tomorrow, and every day till we have a last breath and go home to the Lord, because we must stop the steal." So Ed Martin's a douchebag. Trump is going to house undocumented immigrants at Guantanamo Bay, 30,000 of them. He revoked TPS status, temporary protected status, for 600,000 Venezuelans in the United States legally. And he today, I guess he signed an executive order instructing all federal agencies to identify all of the pro-Palestinian students who protested over the last year and a half on college campuses, who are here on visas, and they're going to all be deported too. Most of them also actively campaigned against Kamala Harris. So the White House has rescinded its order from a couple days ago, freezing all federal grants and loans. That order was blocked by a federal judge yesterday, on Tuesday. Then there was a second federal judge. There was a second hearing today with a judge who has not yet issued his or her order, who said from the bench, "I'm inclined to grant the injunction here because it doesn't look like the administration knows what the hell they're doing." That huge fiasco could be a lesson for the Democrats, because it was handled in such an incompetent and ham-handed manner. Greg Sargent writes, "All of this carries a lesson for Democrats. This is what it looks like when the opposition stirs and uses its power and their voices in a unified way to make a lot of what you might call political noise. That can help set the media agenda, throw Trump and his allies on the defensive, and deliver defeats to Trump and deflate his cultish aura of invincibility." I like that. That sounds good. But make no mistake, columnist Paul Rosenzweig wrote today that Trump's team has been planning this for years, and he makes a couple of good observations here. Trump's allies do appear to understand exactly what they're doing, and they seem to understand that they have Trump's unquestioning consent to do whatever they want to do. And what they want is clear: take full control of the federal government, not in the way that typifies every change of administration, but in a much more extreme way designed to eradicate opposition, disempower federal authority, and cause bureaucrats to cower. It is an assault on basic governance. A great deal of thought and effort has gone into this already. They planned it. They planned it, I think, pretty effectively, because everybody's hair is on fire. Last Friday night, Trump fired 17 or 18 inspectors general across the entirety of the executive branch. That firing is illegal. A president has to give Congress 30 days notice before they fire an inspector general. But Phyllis Fong at the U.S. Department of Agriculture, God love her, a 22-year veteran of the department, told her colleagues, "I'm not going anywhere." She was escorted out of the building on Monday by security agents, and so she's gone too. All of them are going to file lawsuits against the administration. And yet, somehow, Donald Trump begins his second term with a positive polling approval rate. Quinnipiac finds 46% of voters approve of the job Trump is doing, while 43% disapprove. So he's above water, whatever. Today was RFK Jr.'s first confirmation hearing. It was a glorious day for pseudoscience and bullshit on Capitol Hill. Senator Sheldon looked at him at one point and said, "Frankly, you frighten people." And Senator Sheldon Whitehouse is a longtime friend and former law school roommate of RFK Jr. I wonder if Senator Whitehouse ever saw RFK Jr. using heroin. Tom Nichols, and I think he's writing for the Atlantic these days, if I'm not mistaken. He's got a great article up today about how Trump's orders are deliberately sweeping and chaotic. The goal of these orders is not to implement policy, but to generate outrage, report the spasms of liberal apoplexy to the MAGA faithful, and then, when necessary, go to court. And why not? The president now has a politically sympathetic Supreme Court majority that worked hard to keep him out of prison while he was a candidate, and has functionally immunized him against almost any challenge now that he's back in office. Trump's people know that they cannot actually shake the Constitution like an Etch-a-Sketch and make birthright citizenship disappear, but why not give it a shot? Especially if a trolling executive order makes the base happy. Valid observations. Former President Jair Bolsonaro recently referred to Donald Trump as a giant carrot. Here's something that Donald Trump put up on Truth Social. I have just asked Elon Musk and SpaceX to go get the 2 brave astronauts who have been virtually abandoned in space by the Biden administration. They have been waiting for many months on the space station. Elon will soon be on his way. Hope all will be safe. Good luck, Elon. So I think that Donald Trump, in his own mind, has come up with his own solution to shutting up Elon Musk and getting him out of the West Wing. I'll just send him to space. Matt Iglesias, sometimes I like, sometimes I don't, wrote an article that I agree with. Throw Biden under the bus. Of course, many good people served in the Biden administration, and the administration did a number of admirable things. But on a fundamental level, Biden defined his entire post-2016 political comeback in terms of averting the Trumpian threat to democracy and to American political institutions. And he failed catastrophically. It's not just that Trump won, it's that he has returned more powerful than before with Republican House, Republican Senate, and basically his own Supreme Court. It's that we are genuinely much worse off than we would have been if Trump were narrowly reelected in 2020. It's that Biden alienated an entire cohort of young people, along with many of the leaders of the most important companies in America. And in his lame duck interviews, meaning between Election Day and January 20th, Biden expressed nothing but arrogance about his political and policy choices. He even boasted that he believes that he would have beaten Trump had he stayed on the ticket, and seems to be nursing a grudge against Nancy Pelosi. The sheer bad manners of talking Kamala Harris down like that was the last straw for me. I agree with that. Oh boy, exchange of the day. White House Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt was questioned by a reporter about Donald Trump's claim that he sent the military into California to turn on the water. Reporter, could you please clarify what the military did with the California water per Trump's social media post? Press Secretary, the water has been turned on in California. Reporter, what was the military's role? Where did the water come from? Press Secretary, the water was turned on. Hope that helps. We're going to put a pin in that. We're going to circle back to that at the end. Since mid-2023, the 13 states with total bans on abortion have lost approximately 144,000 residents per year collectively. Those would be smart people leaving those states. Yeah, a lot of them were doctors, nurses, and healthcare workers too. Reading scores dropped to the worst in more than 20 years. That is absolutely perfect for our new Republican overlords because it's, as if our electorate is not fucking stupid enough already. Jim Justice, the new senator from West Virginia, former governor of West Virginia, a billionaire coal mine owner, has been commuting to his new job in Washington, D.C. by private plane from his home in West Virginia nearly every day, cutting what would be a 4-hour drive to a 40-minute flight. So that's nice if you have your own plane. Residents of Greenland, a poll done, 85% of the population of the self-ruling Arctic territory don't want anything to do with the United States of America and do not want to be a part of the United States of America. Representative Rich McCormick, Republican from Georgia, member of the House, says that kids should be forced to work at McDonald's instead of getting free school lunches. I just envisioned, a bunch of second-year-olds trying to understand, my order when I order a quarter pounder with cheese, no onions, and then I get it and it comes with onions because they're 7. So yesterday was the first press conference from new White House Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt. The New York Times, in case you needed another reason to cancel that subscription, wrote a review of her first press conference, and the title of it was White House Press Secretary Makes Steely and Unflinching Debut. It was a glowing review, and it left many, she lied throughout the whole thing. It left many observers gobsmacked. Daily Show producer Matt Negrin wrote on Blue Sky, "The New York Times is now written by children." Former MSNBC host Mehdi Hassan said new White House Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt did her first press briefing today and told a number of demonstrable lies. $50 million for condoms and for Hamas in Gaza, criminal records of undocumented migrants, and more. And this is how the New York Times covered it. Journalist Bill Gruskin, I think also on Blue Sky, slammed the Times for writing glowing coverage of Leavitt's performance using words. The New York Times used words like steely, unapologetic, punchy, unflinching, twisting the knife, wasting no time, betrayed no fear, while leaving readers with no idea if 72 million Americans had just been kicked off of Medicaid, thanks to Trump's executive order this week that froze all government grants and loans and led to Medicaid portals in all 50 states being temporarily shut down. Author Benjamin Dreyer just wrote, "What in the actual..." He left off the most important word. Anyway, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please click like, leave a comment, and please subscribe to my page. It is free. Thank you for watching today's episode of Daily Hawk. I'm absolutely certain that everything is going to get better from here. I think the next 4 years are going to be a piece of cake. Everything's going to be fine. I'm just kidding. We're all going to die. Thanks a lot. I'll see you guys soon. Have a great day.